Hello, DM Geezer Jim here. Ooh, sound spike there. Sorry. We're here. Audiobook. Uncaged, Faces of Sigil, continuing along. We are into the ends. We're making some progress through it. And thank you so much for hanging out. Appreciate you. Hopefully you are enjoying this series so far, and we're going to continue reading through, and appreciate your time. And let's get into our next guy is Sly Nye. This is another article that's written kind of as an interview. So we're going to try to do a couple voices so you can make sure. We'll see how it goes. We're going to read it. But all right, Sly Nye. The interviewer is Kata. Once again, if you may remember from our earlier video, she had been interviewing Cirilli and establishing the Planarist League in that interview and linking Cirilli into the Blood War. So Kata arrives again to interview Sly Nye. Kata, I see that you're a tiefling and the button on your label lapel marks you as a Zausatect, yet you're a legal advocate. How can this be? That skull's a mirror, right? I'm being recorded? Yes, but I ask the questions. Got it. If you're asking what it is I do quite well. Just a touch of levity, necessity really, when you defend the poor, the friendless, and the clueless before these tight-faced governors, judges at the city court. Which is what I do. Do you think it's easy to knit defenses out of thin air? Good ones? I rely on creativity to set my clients free. And true creativity comes only from chaos. Order's too limiting. It's essential that I'm more disorganized or I'd get stuck in the same boring thought loops that the law boys have been running around for years. The chains of rules and precedent. Sure, they can rattle off the last sentence of the 12th subparagraph of page 554 of the 19th volume of last year's municipal codes. But can they raise a whirlpool in your heart, lead your head down the wrong fork in the road, water your spirit with the tears of joy and make it bloom like a rainbow? What's your name again? Are you accepted by the legal community? Oh, they block me from the court's libraries, but their musty works make me sneeze anyway. Kesto Bright Eyes? Now there's a free thinker. He lets me do my research down at the Parted Veil. I'm a darn sight more welcome there than at court, which is what I do. Argue cases at court, that is. Why do your prices vary? Because my moods vary. My retainer has nothing to do with how much I put into the case. Today I'll charge 100 gold for 5 minutes work. Tomorrow I'll slave all day for a good potato. I win regardless. What is your rate of success? I win. When a Burke approaches me outside the city court or the Dusty Wood Tavern nearby, best pub in the ladies' ward, and asks me for help, he wins. I've never lost, not even in front of that great smelly Judge Gabberslug at the Court of Woe. Every now and then the governors will ship a sod off to Gabberslug and send me with them. Maybe they figure I won't come back. It is quite nice there. Did I mention that I never lose? Most judges, most advocates have gone brittle with order. Bend them and they'll break. For me, the law's like taffy, stretchy and delicious. Did you hear about my defense for Woolly Cupgrass's latest rampage? Do you use magic or blackmail to win your cases? Wooly was hauled in for disorderly conduct. He does the public spectacle of himself thing every once in a while, but it's not him, it's what he drinks. And somebody's got to try all of that stuff. It's a public service. Wooly's wahoo romps through the streets are public demonstrations of what can happen when you trust a label or a pedal to tell you what you're consuming. Thank goodness he's built up enough of a tolerance to be able to test the things for the rest of us. Buyer beware. Where were we? I repeat, do you use magic or blackmail to win your cases? Absolutely not. My imagination does the trick. What of your chaos imps? Oh, crawled right into my mind, have you? If you know what's in there, why ask the question? Then again, why not? The imps are great fun. I picked them up like a disease when I was traveling in limbo. They've infested my ion stones. 5 stones, 5 imps. Do the stones give you an advantage in court? Nah, they're just there for personal defense. One time I won a case against a shifty Batizu prosecutor, and he tried to show me his gratitude afterward. So I got the stones. But really, I just like the way they look. It does my heart good to see them drunkenly orbiting my head. And of course, to see the imps bust out of the gems and whiz around the courtroom. Keeps everything stirred up. Throw in a little magical darkness, a cantrip or two, touch a Zausatec scramble speak, and I've got an ideal setting for arguing a case. Good things are bound to come out of such liveliness. That's why I wear my patchwork jacket to court, to announce that some colors entered the room. What use are you to me? I'd say you could do with a few more laughs and some confusion. Why not make your interviews formless or toss that mirror and work for me? I've had cutters try to hunt down rare texts for my research and evidence of witnesses for court appearances. Perhaps you're in need of a counsel yourself, yeah? Have you ever considered the judges may rule in your favor simply to be rid of you? Hey, I win. All right, so that's Sly Nye, okay? Sly Nye is a tiefling planer. He is a bard by class, Zausatect, a chaos bringer. Not necessarily a combatant in any way, shape, or form. Doesn't have a lot of special abilities. He's always found when not arguing a case in the city court in the ladies' ward. Nye hawks his services outside of the court or relaxes at the Dusty Wig Tavern nearby. If you're role playing him, he's quick and animated. Nye sometimes goes off on tangents, but his digressions always spiral off from a word that catches an interest, even in the words not all important in the conversation. Nye comes at things from different points of view, making his own sense. He hates to fight. He prefers to escape by turning ethereal with one of his ion stones or creating a diversion with a phantasmal force spell. His 5 chaos imps often inhabit foes' equipment and try to frighten or confuse them as well. Chaos imps are a little mechanical thing from 2E. All right, so Sly Nye, what are we getting out of this story? Interesting fellow. We're getting into kind of circling back around when, if you guys remember reading about Judge Gabberslug, if you were with us for that video, it mentions Sly Nye as a advocate, a freaking lawyer. He's a lawyer. He's a attorney. He's going to represent players' interests when they get in trouble with the law or other people's interests. In regards to actual gameplay, other than just an interesting person in the background, should your players run afoul of the law, which adventurers are wont to do in civilized situations, and end up in a court situation, Sly Nye can be an ideal advocate, as it were, as they're called. But really, Sly Nye's gonna really fill a niche as far as an NPC goes. Now he may end up hiring the players to help find information this way or that way, so he can certainly provide low to mid tier quests, adventure hooks, as it were, because he defends random people, random things, and you could certainly use Sly Nye as an introduction to a bigger plot, a bigger scheme, something more adventure oriented, less courtroom oriented, as it were. So used as a defendant for your, to help defend your players should they run afoul of the law. Certainly, he provides an option for quests. He can provide information, but more than anything, I think the story is just to kind of show a character that operates in an absolutely chaotic fashion, but still succeeds in a lawful universe. Not necessarily the law. Let me rephrase that. A lawful setting. He's going to court. Court, by definition, is lawful, typically lawful neutral. And being chaotic neutral is the dire opposite of it. Bringing chaos to a courtroom environment and trying to defend somebody that may not even necessarily be defendable, but still being able to succeed. Cade is questioning is kind of not necessarily positioning anything, but revealing that he also uses magic for dramatic effect when he's doing a court scene. And if you remember the Gabberslug reading, you remember that Gabberslug actually enjoys when Nye shows up, because he puts on this weird, crazy, raucous show versus the, what was her face? I can't remember. The dour, dry-skinned advocate that normally operates within the court of woe. But yeah, fun story, interesting fellow. Should your players be in need of counsel, Sly Nye's the guy, man. If you're capable of playing that hyper charismatic, hyperactive, completely chaotic, off the wall kind of a character, you might very well enjoy Sly Nye. That's kind of it. We're going to go ahead and finish up the video on that point. Just another view at the justice system in Sigil and another cool NPC. Thank you for your time. Likes, follows, subscribes, all the cool stuff is appreciated. If you've been following along, you know what I'm asking for. If you're new to the series, appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video, and we see you for another one in the future. Take care.